I always fix things.
Look at it.
Rihanna was declared a billionaire last month.
She's pregnant.
What?
Is she pregnant?
I don't know if she is. Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Yo, that's my baby. Like,
That's your baby.
she deserves that shit. She deserves that shit. But I still miss her music. Like, where you at?
She's making her clearly. She's just supposed to make her own.
Yeah. I was watching
It was
this.
like a side thing to her. Like now she's like,
Right? Like, it's just a hobby. Like, you know what? If that is the case, just say that. So that I cannot be expecting.
She gonna miss fans like that.
Yeah. But you know what? There was.
Grab it here. It's Gucci, but look, grab it here. So by the time it gets there. But
All right.
it's burnt.
I see. You know what? Like, I saw something where like there was people debating on this, and they had the whole thing on Twitter about it. Fans was going back and forth, like, no, she's in what's the name's new video, so she's coming back out to but she didn't say shit. So, I mean, that still leaves me. That doesn't say anything. Like, people are looking through. They're picking like a needle in a haystack, trying to find answers, but I haven't heard nothing about her actually being pregnant. So that's new to me.
Just so Google it right now.
For real? Yeah. All right, so Rihanna pregnant. Oh, Rihanna pregnancy. 2 days ago. Fact check. Viral photos of seemingly pregnant Rihanna are doctored and outdated.
No.
Yo, what the fuck? I didn't see this. I was like, I did see the little quilt looking thing, but I didn't think about who the fuck was in it. What's the dude that she's with? What the fuck is his name? He's ASAP Ferg, right? Or is it ASAP Rocky? It's ASAP Rocky.
He's one of the rappers.
Right, one of them rappers. I don't know nothing about because I'm too old.
Right.
But
Like,
she looks
that's
she looks like she's wrapped in a big comforter, but she still looks chic and amazing. I'm not gonna lie though.
I fucked up my bag picking up these. That's why I asked you. Like, I woke up when I went to put a fucking
You need that Vicks
today. When I went to go down like this, I
Said,
screamed.
Yo, Vicks will
I
fix
said,
anything.
And my
You
nephew
know,
just looked at me. I said,
sometimes like
And
I'll
then at
be
work,
standing.
Baby, can you hand me the Vicks?
I'll be
It's
standing.
in there
"Ooh, that's
somewhere.
Rihanna."
Yeah, but that's ASAP
I
Rocky.
seen that.
Thank you.
but
That's ASAP
what-
Rocky. Look at what the fuck he's wearing
What is
compared to
he-
her.
Was it with
But
the
was it
crunch
to,
berries?
like,
The
go
crunch
along?
The
berries?
crunch berries. Yes. See, I was thinking of an old King's like quilt that just is so raggedy and just
Captain Crunch berries.
Yep.
That's what
Was
I
it
told
more
just
Captain
like-
Crunchy than Quilty.
But did she know that he was gonna dress like that?
Yeah, because
I
it's
think
supposed to be
so.
a reveal. It's supposed to be a reveal. That's just
They're
what they
supposed
wear,
to-
like they drop it when they get there and like, oh my god, look. And they
I
take the
know,
photo.
but what I'm saying, like,
But if you're a
all
couple,
pink
you
and
kn-
all
Yeah.
extra.
If they're a couple, so they had to
her
supposed to
two
coordinate.
not-
That's not
exactly,
coordination.
that's what I'm saying.
There's no
Not
I think it's
over
different
and extra.
designers.
They're either like one set.
The designer should be on the phone on speed dial because that's ridiculous.
But I think the designers, I think they represent two different designers. That's why. Like they're
But
making
you know what I
separate
mean?
money.
Like if I don't know, either for her to not look out awkward, you do awkward,
I understand. Yeah.
or either they were like that's what I'm saying, like,
You're saying they look awkward together.
yeah, but yo lo veo like to either her not stand out that she's pregnant or she's trying to look like she's pregnant or at that moment that you guys know she was pregnant. Or
So-
No, I thought she was. I've seen other
Today's the
photos.
24th. The Met Gala was the 13th. It says that she attended the Met Gala in quote in an oversized black ensemble.
That's what I'm saying.
Some saw the star's outfit choice as evidence of unconfirmed and reoccurring pregnancy rumors. Online social media users are resurrecting a set of doctored photos to support the pregnancy rumors. The old photos show the star in a tight black dress,
Yes,
black
that's what I
purse, and
saw.
heels.
That's what I
Her silhouette in a tight dress makes it appear she is pregnant. So, oh, and people started congratulating her and whatnot.
She's probably like, I'm not pregnant.
So it was taken several years ago though. But still, when I saw photos of her in,
But that guy ducking in the back, who's that?
that's her dude. ASAP Rocky, I believe. When he just came out with a new music video and she's in it. And she does now. Don't get me wrong. As Rihanna has progressed with age, she's gotten she's gotten thick in the right places. But
the Urkel movie.
She's
in the Urkel movie.
What Urkel movie?
I don't know. His face with the dress, or
yo, I'm done.
He looked like somebody. His friend or his cousin.
Yo.
The one that used to walk in the door.
Yeah.
With not the Spencers, but the
Yo, no good.
Look at him. He's like, oh, how you doing? And he used to always get kicked the fuck out. What's his name?
The one I know who you talking about.
I
know you talking about.
And then he leaves.
Yeah. The one everybody hated.
Yeah.
Like why is it, first of all, why is it?
The picture? You see the face?
Mm-mm.
Look at him, and then you probably understand.
The look on his face. Like, I get what she's saying.
With the braid.
I get what she's saying.
Roger.
There you go. Roger.
That's from Sister. But that brings up my point. Why is it?
Roger. There you go.
Sister, yeah, with the twins, right? Yeah. But why is it every '90s black sitcom, maybe all sitcoms in the '90s, had a neighbor that didn't have a great home? That the family of the TV show, they go home, Roger. Like, and there was always a character that came around, nobody wanted them around, and they like shooed them away. There was a male or female character, but black sitcoms had a lot of them. Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air had the Will Smith's actual. They were actually a duo. He was his DJ back in the day, but they made him like that character in the TV show, huh? For real. Yep. They all look the same to me. Family Matters had one. I can't remember his name. I think it was Waldo or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Waldo. Oh, the sisters have one too, right?
That was Roger. That was Roger.
Waldo.
I think that was Family Matters. I think. I don't know. For real though. And look, there's one of them together here. And that just looks ridiculous. Rihanna, I don't know about this oversized dress. There has to be a point to that. I'm not saying she's pregnant, but somebody said it. Nah, this was last week. And you know what? As I look closer, I see a bump. But maybe I'm just saying that because now it's in my head.
Isn't she always dressed like?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Rihanna's sticking the right places now. She has aged nicely.
Baby, boom, my body.
Well, Beyonce hit the boom boom now, and she looking.
Party, but I feel like Party got like solid, like you know, like
Cardi also has a lot of surgery, admittedly.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Beyonce, we don't know if Beyonce got surgery or nothing. So
we never know.
We'll never know, right? But at least you know what? At least Cardi's open with that shit. Yeah. But at the same time, we'll never know what her body would have looked like or did look like post pregnancy.
Give it some time.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see. Do you know what though?
So plastic now, like she's super plastic.
Right, but I will say that like black and brown bodies is like elastic, because I give it up to Kelly Rowland and Ciara when they both went through 2 kids, and they are just
and Kelly Rowland with domestic violence.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna go back to that in a second. We're gonna go back to that because that's newsworthy. Hold on a second. But they both got 6-packs to the core, 8-packs, 10-packs, whatever, post and pre-pregnancy of both those babies. Actually, Ciara got 3. And so that's proof they work very hard. I don't know what
Touch me up.
Possibly a little nip tuck here and there.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll ever admit it. Those two. You know what? I don't think Kelly would ever admit it, but I think I'm almost sure that Sierra has admitted to stuff. I'm not sure. But what did you just say to me?
You remember when she was Dirty Laundry?
Yeah.
That was a real story about that.
Oh yes, I forgot about that. I completely forgot about. Okay, so okay, it's funny because I released a video last year at the start of the Leon block, and it was called Dirty Laundry, and I started by airing out all the stuff that I had went through previous to that led me to where I was and how I was starting the Leon block. Dirty Laundry was a song that she released talking about, because you know how she was in Destiny's Child. I forgot how the rotation even went, so fuck it. You know how she was in Destiny's Child, and like everyone was talking about how she was in the shadow of Beyonce, like Beyonce in them, or you Beyonce's sidekick, or this, that, and the third, and she, you know what I mean? Which there was a lot of truth to, and like they just didn't really admit it. I think she got to a certain point where everybody kept addressing it, like she internalized it, and she was like, "Fuck this shit, I'm just gonna like." Once that point came, when she came to a turning point in her life and realized, like, I'm going to let everything out, that was one of the things. But then also, she talked about a relationship to a guy. I still don't know who this guy is. It was somebody in the industry. They very much mentally and emotionally abused her. I don't know if they physically abused her. Did they physically abuse her? She might have insinuated it. I didn't pick up on that, and I definitely believe you. She talked about like how he would say, you know, you ain't shit without me, and if it wasn't for Beyonce, and you know, you wouldn't have nothing. Right, and like alienated her from her friends and family and everything, and she felt really trapped. She was open about that to the world and put it in a song. You know what I'm saying? And went on the album. Like, I forgot all about that. Mm-hmm. That song was really real and really raw. I'm done with you. It would be nice to get a full-length album from Kelly and Sierra soon. I know Kelly released the EP last year. I didn't like it. It was very Donna Summer-ish. And I love Donna Summer, but not for Kelly Rowland. If any of y'all know Kat Graham, who's my baby, like I fucking love her. She is from Vampire Diaries fame. She released 2. What the fuck? What? Baby. She released 2 albums that were really great. The first one was like her introduction to the world. I mean, she doesn't have a great voice, but she really went off the back of like Janet Jackson, Kat Graham. And her second album was very 90s dominated. It was produced and written by Babyface, by the way. And it just had such a nostalgic vibe. She took a lot of old beats from the 90s and sampled them. It was phenomenal, very dancey. And then it was awesome. And then came the third album, straight 70s Donna Summer vibe. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? I don't like this, and I no longer fuck with you. And like she hasn't come out with an album since. I do fuck with her, but like I was just really disappointed. And I'm very skeptical of I'm very themed albums. Like, you gotta come correct with shit. Or yes, I'm very much a critic when it comes to music. Yup. For real. And I will disown you for a couple albums or two. Like I'm very, or like singles maybe. Like, because you know, people don't really release albums anymore. They want to release singles and shit. And that's what I was getting at. Was Kelly released that thing last year and it was like 6 songs and it was all shit. Pokey. And so Sierra is popping out babies and looking fine like wine, and she can keep popping out babies and looking fine like wine, but just give us some music here and there. That's all I'm saying. Apparently, I need her pussy to take a break real quick and pop out some songs.
It's not.
Russell, I'm gonna need you to clip them shits.
Oh, this nigga's always popping up on me and punching my wife. Like I'm his bitch, yo. He's so
But you know what? That's okay. Let me harp on Jasmine for a second. Because you've been teasing me with tracks. And you did release a little something last year. Jasmine Sullivan. Oh, well, I'll get to Janet in a second. But Jasmine, I'm going to need you to come with a full-length album too. It's your time. It's your prime. While I'm at it, before I get to Janet, let me talk about Normani. Because there have been rumors that she's finally coming out with something, but The Dream is producing it, which I have a bone to pick with that because I can't stand his ass. So I'm expecting the album to be very lackluster. And from I love Cardi, but this song she came out with, Wild Side, even though she sampled 1 in a Million, I still don't like the song. I feel like it's very lackluster, and it hasn't grown on me. I've tried giving it a chance, and it hasn't. It's a little bop, but it doesn't do nothing for me, and it's not going to be a precursor to a good standing album. So what the fuck are y'all doing, RCA? Please drop her so she can go independent. Let Tinashe handle her, and like show her the way. Let Dawn Richard show her the way. You know what I'm saying? What's up? Ed. Janet. Honey. Can I get a single drop? Just one single? Everybody can't be busy now. Y'all gotta rotate. That's the problem. Where's the good shit? You know what? You know, I did see. It's all right because I love Kiana Lede and I love Kehlani, and they're two artists that are really doing their thing right now, but they lack something. Like for me, their songs are hit or miss to me, and that's my problem. Like, am I getting too old? No. I refuse to believe that. You didn't hear that. Music is just not the same.
It is not. You just have to accept that. That is the reason.
Yeah, I'll do my independent label artists. Like I was saying, Dawn Richard and Tinashe, who I'm gonna see in Philly October 4th, by the way. I'm really fucking excited about that. And another independent artist that I saw in 2015. It was 2017. JoJo. Yes. Fucking love JoJo. And I saw her in this it was like right down the block from
Thing, though. Like,
yeah.
Very underrated.
Yo. Right down the yes, she is. She's very underrated. Right down the block from Urban Transfer. It was at Urban Transfer, right down the block from Eastern State Penitentiary. For those are familiar with that big ass prison that Al Capone had a cell in Philly. Take a tour there, by the way. It's Halloween season, so you definitely want to check that shit out. Urban Transfer is kind of like it was like a old armory, I think. So it's like the size of a high school auditorium. So it was very intimate. And I got a balcony seat. It wasn't even a seat. I stood. And I had a 40. Actually, it was a deuce. And for me, I'm quite the lightweight. So, and I didn't eat till after. It was a nice little vibe. And when I tell you JoJo sang her heart out, and I'm getting chills now because she sent ripples through my body the way she sang and took us to fucking church and gave covers. The whole shebang. The whole tour, first of all, for those who are JoJo fans and don't and remember, for those who don't know, let me remind you and give you a little teaser. Check it out. It's on social media too. She So actually, let me rewind because I was talking about independent artists. A lot of independent artists, i.e., JoJo and Tinashe, had very public disputes with their record labels because they weren't able to release music or the way that they wanted to, or the music was getting halted or shelved. And after like 5 years, Tinashe was able to get her contract, and now she's releasing music like crazy, touring again, doing her thing.
When they freed Britney?
Same thing. Actually, she had a freeing of different manifestations: her actual conservatorship, and then also her creativity, and her music as well, and her rights, all of that. With JoJo, the label she was on was the same label that Aaliyah was on, and the same reason why Aaliyah's music was not available to digital platforms until last month. Her label would not, they just didn't want to digitize. And so that prevented her from releasing albums. They wouldn't release her albums. They would just shelve them. She tried to do the Lil Wayne route, and she just started going ham on releasing mixtapes. Over the course of like several years, she released 10 mixtapes. Well, it was more so the family's decision. They were being very stubborn. I'm not even gonna lie, and I'm trying to respect the family. Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. It's money. With JoJo, that was the same family that she was dealing with. Sorry. So it was the same thing. Well, JoJo had all these mixtapes of hits that people really loved. They weren't official hits, but they were fucking hits to, the underground people, the 2000s, the late 2000s going into the early 2010s. Mixtapes was them shits. Yeah. So a lot of people, she was doing covers like of Drake's She's Still in Vegas, like all kinds of different covers that was really popping at the time, and she got notoriety for it, the twist that she put on it and the soulfulness that she conveyed. Oh shit, the fuck. My dude's playing video games, and it's this shit with zombies. I love this shit. So by the time this tour came up, she had a plethora of hits from mixtape eras, and then covers that she did, and then she infused her own little covers on top of it. And then she had just came out with her new album after 10 years of being shelved or out of the industry. The album with Remy Ma and Wiz Khalifa, the collabs that she did, that was her introduction back into the music industry, so to speak. And that concert was phenomenal. I was just disappointed because I actually could have got a picture and autograph with her. But everything happens for a reason. I'm not going to dwell on that shit. But that concert really was, like, I was like right there. My phone was shit though. But I recorded a lot of it. Mm-hmm. For real, I still got it on my Google photo. So like I do have one video on there. She did Aaliyah's 1 in a Million. And that was, I cried like a little baby. I did, but you know what? That's one thing I respect about JoJo, is that she knows her place as an ally to women of color and people of color, and being in a space of the genre of music that she's in that's dominated by people of color. She makes sure to not appropriate, and she makes sure to pay homage in every way possible. And that's one of the things that I find very outstanding in JoJo. Like, that's my girl. And I follow her from day one, from Leave, Get Out. Like, that was, for real, that was back in the day.
She's saying that shit really.
Yo,
sang the shit out that song. I don't care. That shit
hell
still,
yeah.
That shit still bangs to me. I don't care.
There's still performances today, like, of her doing that shit. And she, by the way, because of copyrights and stuff, she wasn't, they wouldn't put her first 2 albums on like Apple or Spotify. So what she did was she re-recorded the whole album, both of them. And she did it her way. And you know what? The new version sounds just as good as the old version. Like, she just did a little twist on the ad-libs, but it sounds exactly the same for the most part. And a couple other artists started following suit. I think Taylor Swift, which is not really Thank you. You exemplified that perfectly for me. Who appropriates, but she followed suit too and started redoing her older albums.
Do you remember that year when Taylor Swift went every week before like she did the
that was a ploy.
Yeah,
that was to put her to catapult her to the. Yeah, that was when they popified her.
I just could not believe that. And it was like, oh my God, thank you.
No. That was when Kanye came up on the
God,
stage. Sure did, but he was right.
He was right.
He was right, but he made a fool of all of us. You ain't have to come up there drunk with the shades on top of it. Didn't he have a bottle in his hand too? If I'm remembering. That's not the Mandela effect. I'm pretty sure he had a bottle in his hand. And Beyonce, yeah. She was like this. She's like, oh my God, like, please, you're embarrassing us. Just stop.
Jay-Z ain't give a fuck. He said, I really give a fuck. He was on his phone. He was still on his phone, like, oh, all right.
Okay, embarrassing moment number 2. Because I want to talk about this. You probably remember this. And I don't know if you watched, if you was too young. And back in the day, I was big on MTV and BET. So I got home, I would flip between TRL and 106 & Park. And I'll never forget the day.
And Ray J.
I'll never forget the day when Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle came out on that stage and did the little shimmy with the hips.
Baby boy. Boom.
Michelle hit the floor.
Michelle hit the floor. Said, baby boy. She said, boom. Right on the floor.
And don't you know they stepped right over her and kept it moving?
In sync, too.
Like
they knew she was
not even that, but like they done been through this before.
That's why I said
they know what to do. Like shoot, boop. Let's go.
5, 6, 7, 8. If she falls.
But what got me over top of that was how Michelle got up and she like did the swipe with her hair and she looked back and forth like, did anybody see this? And,
no, everybody. Everybody. She said, "No, I'm good. I'm here." It goes down in history forever, but I still love her. But
right.
That shit was funny as shit.
Honestly, Michelle is my baby. Like I'm so proud of her. I have such respect for her, and she, in my head, she's my twin. Like I'm so clumsy like her. I have depression issues, mental health issues. I'm very transparent about that. I've been in very public and open and crazy relationships. I'm not religious, but I'm thick, skinny. Like we have a lot of similarities.
You're black.
I'm black. She's black.
You always say that.
In case y'all didn't know. But you know what? Michelle has always persevered through all those embarrassing situations. They still play her. There are so many collages of videos on YouTube of them. Yes. Oh my God, through the ringer. I will never forget. There's one of them showing awkward moments of her singing and dancing, and it just didn't fit with the other two. And like when you're watching on TV, they know how to make the shot. So like she's not in that specific shot, so that you think that the group looks good and they're in sync.
Like the Super Bowl when she almost fell, when she popped up. And
oh my God! Yes! Yes!
Hands on hips. She popped up. She had a little nip in her.
She was always just a tins of amateur that added to the group.
But they're supposed to pop up and just be straight, but she almost went down.
You know what? I think that's why they added her to the group. Like, you know what? We don't want to be too perfect. We want to add a little rawness to the group.
I mean, they had a couple more girls and they let them go.
But they didn't make the cut because they were too prissy. And they were too much like in conflict. Like, remember Thrill W? That was they was oh my God, yes.
I don't know about that out here like that.
Right? Adrian and Keely were the dominant of the group. Mind you, Keely's aunt ran the show. So Keely thought that she was the baddest bitch in town with her little lisp and all. And Adrian was the sidekick. Adrian, at that time, She's come a long way too.
Adrian
What
is
said
beautiful,
went.
let me
She
tell
still
you.
is. And
Beautiful.
shout out to Adrian because she's beautiful inside and out. She's
Okay.
humbled herself. She's and like, and I'm a very outspoken person against Christianity, but when people are actual Christians, like I shout them out for that shit. And she's a celebrity
Like the
that
actual ones, not the ones
yes,
that just say,
they actually are Christians. Yeah. And give me my roses while I'm fucking here. I didn't even see that at first. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
who designed the game for them to fall out?
There are few celebrities who have navigated the ills of Hollywood, been able to live through it and tell, not albeit being child stars, be Christians, get married, and have successful relationships. Adrian is one of those. Megan Good from Remember Cousin Skeeter fame is another one of those. And she's married to the one guy that's a twin from the other guy that was on Empire. The really sexy one that had the wife that was the light-skinned, short-haired girl. They're twins. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. So, Michelle. I love her for a lot of different things.
Oh shit, I forgot about Michelle. She was good.
You know what? What I really loved about her was she gave a different genre a shot. And I feel like she executed it very well.
Absolutely.
And people don't give her enough credit for that
Absolutely.
shit. Mind you, I'm still waiting for that to get released to Spotify because that was my joint. And I really want to bang that shit in my house instead of going on YouTube.
I said yes.
Oh, that was my jam
Yeah,
too.
that was my jam though. Right?
I'm talking about back in the day with We Break the Dawn.
Oh, you broke the dawn.
Yeah. Yo, like the club hits of that shit was a jam. And the whole album in its entirety was really well made, well produced.
I feel
And
like Kelly did some good work with David Guetta.
oh, speaking of, thank you, because that's one of my favorite songs of all time.
David Guetta.
Which hold on, which one? What a Feeling or
there's a whole
what
bunch.
if right?
There's a couple of them that are
What a
pretty
Feeling, Summer Dreaming.
good. Yeah.
The album
Love
that
Takes Over.
she had, yes, When Love Takes
That was
Over.
my
Yes, yo, now you talking. Because that shit gives me feels and it gives me like that good butterfly feeling in my chest.
Like, it fits very
Talk
well.
about now that's a Donna Summer vibe that she executed very well. Do you know what I'm saying? And like that whole era, now don't get me wrong, Michelle executed her dance genre very well too, but in a different way. The way that Kelly did it was so free loving and just like a summer day
I
with
feel like
mimosas
I feel like she
by
didn't
the
wanna-
beach.
I feel like she didn't want to be too close of a genre towards Beyonce. And I
Oh,
feel like
yes.
she did like more her own thing, and I kind of
She etched out her own
It was
path.
like pop. It was like dance pop.
Soul.
Like you know what I mean? It was her own little corner of it all.
For real. I was mad when it came to an end.
Right.
Like she did a sharp turn and just like started
I
doing
think it
like
was when she was
R&B.
that man. I'm telling you, I think that man came in and then boom, boom, boom.
You actually have a point because after that was the album with Dirty Laundry. That's true. And you know what? When it comes to Black female artists, especially in this day, coming out with something that is either very pop or very dance oriented, they get shelved to the back of the scenes. And I was getting at this for a second because Michelle did a collabo with Alternate. And for those who do not know Alternate, she goes back to the 90s, baby. Like she's one of the original house queens, hailing from the DMV, Baltimore specifically. And she's well known in the gay scene from the early 90s, house, Vogue, the whole nine. She's well known in the club scene for having dance hits out the ass. And for those who don't know her, if you remember the song Free from like 98, 99, 2000s fame, that's her. She recorded a song with Michelle that was really fucking great. And there it went.
You know who else can sing? Donna Summer's daughter. What's her name? Our favorite lady?
Donna Summer's daughter? You tell me. Because that's news to me. But no, that time with Kelly Rowland was really a heyday for me for having house that's present day that has that good soulful vibe still, and you can dance and you get all the good things as a gay Black man who '90s house music is the one time frame that makes me feel the best of me. Okay, and that and New Jack Swing. And so, with a time frame, you can't always get that back. And that time frame embodied that. And so I will always thank Kelly for that, even though she changed gears. The R&B era that she encompassed after that still was to be cherished as well and to be cherished. So, I mean, I give it up to her. That's my honey too. I'm not going to knock her. I'm going to just be very critical. So come out with another jam, please. An album, full-length album. That's all I'm saying. Danny the King, can y'all come out with something? Aubrey, can you stop fucking up your face? Get it together.
Can we go back to the days when we had like reality TV shows that put together, like how they had that.
Hold up. So I don't know if y'all heard.
Called?
He's saying that he wants to go back to the days of like making the band and pop stars. I don't know if
Why not?
Why are you doing that?
Not American Idol, but you know.
So here's my bone to pick. Besides Kelly Rowland, besides Kelly Clarkson and Fantasia, what artists today are still surviving from any of those era shows? Nicole Scherzinger, sure as hell, is struggling.
Have you seen the last PCD that they tried to do? The
the song was okay,
terrible,
but I felt like it was lackluster. I didn't see the video.
The performance?
No.
They looked like the Pussycat doll. The Pussy's got a little old. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Pussy's gotten old. It's sagging.
And they're no longer kittens anymore.
You know what? Did you notice that the one girl was missing? Yeah. My favorite, Melody Thornton.
Nicole tried though.
She did.
I gave her an E for effort though. For her age, her body is sick. Just doesn't move as fast as she did before. That's what she was. Beautiful.
And the rest of them,
they were all beautiful. They
just
were a little. You can just tell they were a little slower, a little older, and it's okay. You know, they're still beautiful, but
that sucks. That sucks to hear.
Yeah, that's the modeling.
But you know what? Black don't crack.
No, not at all.
And Melanie Thornton is half black and half Mexican. And her voice is still very powerful. And at the same time, and I think part of why she didn't join it this time around was because she was releasing her own thing. She released an EP at the same time, and it was really good. And if you haven't listened to it, check it out. It has like a what the fuck, Quentin Tarantino type of vibe. Yo, for real. And the songs on that are so, like, she sings her heart out, y'all. So take a look at that. Melanie Thornton. A lot of people like remember her. She was underrated because she was the short one, and like they had to alter shots to make her fit in with the rest of them. A lot of times they would take her out of shots because she was dark, but she was there. So definitely pay attention to her. All right, enough of that. I'm done ranting. Y'all have a good night, y'all. Be well.